Hey guys, I'm Master Mango, and today I'm going to be reviewing a manga by Inio Asano, Solanin. This is a manga which focuses on a group of friends who are trying to find their way through the transition of childhood to adulthood, and it's kind of their struggle to find out really what they want to do compared to what society wants them to do. Miko Inoue is the protagonist in this series, and at a very young age finds herself living in an apartment with her boyfriend Naru Yamada. Miko has a very boring office job. She doesn't like her job, she doesn't like the people around her, she doesn't like her life. And one day she goes home to her boyfriend and just says, I'm thinking about quitting my job. Jokingly, you know, after that she follows that up with, oh, I'm only joking, I would never do that. Which really tells the reader she never really thought about living her life the way she wants to. She never really thought about freedom properly. But then her boyfriend turns around to her and says, why don't you? Why don't you quit your job? And that's really sets up not only his character, but the whole story of Solanin. Which Miko then quits her job to find freedom. Freedom, again, is something that is a recurring theme in this manga. She leaves her job and within a couple of weeks is bored. She doesn't really know what she's doing. She's going through her savings and she keeps telling herself, I'll find something that I want to do, not what society wants me to do. And this takes, this goes on for quite a while and she's bored. She thought freedom would be amazing, but it's not. It's boring. So going back to Yamada, he's a very free spirit in this manga throughout. He basically contradicts everything that society offers. One major scene of this is the zoo scene, where him and his friend go to the zoo, and he's basically explaining that, all the kids are here, and they're here to see the animals and have fun. But underneath all that, this is animals imprisoned, kept in a cage, all throughout their lives. And this happens on early, so it's again pushing that Yamada is the kind of free spirit here. He represents kind of what freedom is. He knows and understands society and what society wants people to do. And I think that's really important. He's not the only character in this series who's very deep and is created so well. All other characters in the series you can really get inside and relate with. Almost everyone can relate with at least 3 of the characters in this series, because, come on, face it, trying to find out what you want to do in life is quite a relatable thing. Everyone once will go through that. And I think that's why this manga is so special, because it's just so deep and heavy and almost everyone can relate. When I first read this manga, I was in awe of how amazing it was. I was so gripped to this, and it's for a different reason. Up until I read this, I had been reading basic shonen battle mangas, seinen, gore-filled stuff, but I found myself amazed that I was gripped to a story with no gore, no action, no mechs. It was literally a story of an average girl living an average life with average friends. And I think Inio Asano has done really well to make that so amazing, if you know what I mean. He's really made this something that people can relate to and be gripped to. And literally, I could not put this book down, and I think that says a lot. Asano has done such an amazing job in this. The artwork is absolutely fantastic. The facial expressions in this series really help tell the story. Even the shading is fantastic. The background scenes, they're all absolutely amazing. The artwork is not the only thing that's fantastic in this series. The actual writing, the metaphors used in this series really are something, when you stop and look at them, are fantastic. Asano uses sandals as a kind of view of life, of how people view life, Miko buys sandals, and I'll read the quote to you. My brand new sandals are a little stiff, and I think they'll give me blisters, but I love them, so I'll probably wear them out. With cautious feet we move forward. Today is the first step of our new lives. That kind of sentence there really makes you think, people can relate to this. You need to go through toughness and hardship to really feel the relief, you know, through work. Maybe you don't like your job, but you're gaining money, you know. And again, it's relevant throughout this whole manga of jobs, having a boring job, but then having the money to spend some time with your friends, you know. And I think there's many other metaphors in this series, which I won't go into too much because they kind of delve into spoiler territory. But yeah, I'm just trying to think. There's not really many criticisms I have of this manga. It's just because it's such a real, true-to-life manga, and the artwork is so fantastic, it's hard to pick out spots. But there was one time in this manga, after halfway through, a very critical event happened. If you read the manga, you'll know what I'm talking about. I won't say for spoilers. But after this, the character of Rip, who is a good character up until now, is after, but it's a very emotional scene. And comedically, he falls off his bike and spirals and crashes his head, and blood comes out of his nose, and you know. And I thought that was so out of place with the whole manga. It didn't let me down. It made me feel very awkward. Yeah, I had to like just carry on reading after that. Like, I didn't want to pay it too much thought, but at the time I was a bit, you know, stunned about how emotion filled this whole manga had been. For Asano to just make this joke, try and make this into a comedic thing. If you've read the manga, you'll know why it's so awkward. But yeah, that was one thing where I was like, maybe that's just weird, you know? Needless to say, don't let that sway you from not buying the manga. The whole story is fantastic. I highly recommend you pick it up. Viz have printed this in their signature line, so it kind of fits well with Tokyo Ghoul, 20th Century Boys. If you have any of Viz signature titles, exactly the same size. Fantastic print. You've got inside cover art on both sides, so it's absolutely amazing. Very hard, paper quality, fantastic, very thick, so it goes well with the artwork. Really does it justice. This is a 2-in-1. Originally printed 2 volumes in Japan, but Viz have put it all into one, which I think is better, because reading this full story, you know, I wouldn't want to stop halfway through. I much prefer just to read this full story in its entirety. Asano, a fantastic mangaka. I think he's won multiple awards through his works. What a Wonderful World is another one of his works. Has been also published in Viz signature, which I have not read yet. I'm very interested to read it though because of this. So yeah, this manga in all round is fantastic. If you've never read a slice of life, or if you've read a lot of slice of life mangas, I highly recommend you read this all the same. It's just, you know, it's so relatable and it's so deep. Just a fantastic story. So thanks for watching, everyone. This has been my first video. I'm hoping to make a lot more. So if you liked my review of this, please like the video. If you've read this manga, comment down below what you think of it. I'll be interested to know what your reviews are and your opinions are of this manga. Obviously keep it spoiler free so everyone else can read it. Thanks for watching, everyone, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.